Hello there, it's Paul, and today it's a video a bit special because I will review something that does not happen very often. In fact, it happens every 3 to 4 years, and it's the release of the new Owasp top 10 version. So it's a draft version, it's not the final version, but it's usually pretty close. So let's have a look at what has changed since 2017. So the first big change is broken access control that has been moved from 5th to 1st. So I'm really glad for this change because I think broken access control is pretty prevalent in most apps. It's a business logic vulnerability in most cases, so automated tools or frameworks cannot know how the product or the business teams want every endpoint protected. So it's more difficult to detect from a developer point of view. And so developers are well trained to develop the things that the product or the business team want, but it's a bit more difficult to develop only that and to prevent attackers to be able to, or users that do not have the correct permissions to do some things they should not be able to do in the app. And moreover, there are some frameworks and some libraries that enable developers to go faster by creating new endpoints for every new model. So it's really easy to have a CRUD very fast. But of course, those frameworks and libraries do not know how these new endpoints should be protected, so they are publicly available. And a delete endpoint on the user model can have some serious impacts in the app. So the second change is sensitive data exposure that has been moved from 3rd to 2nd and renamed into cryptographic failures. So sensitive data exposure was a symptom rather than the root cause of the vulner. And really often data are not sufficiently encrypted or badly encrypted. And that's the focus that this new name will give on this. Then we have injection and cross-site scripting that have been merged into injection. So I really loved the separation because cross-site scripting are basically client-side injection, where injections represented the server injections, and those have different. There are different ways to protect the app against those two classes of vulnerabilities. But in a way, I think now people are aware of those two, and merging these into one enables to have one more place in the top 10 to add some more vulnerabilities. And as the top 10 is a flagship project of Owasp, it can have a good impact. Then we have a new category, which is insecure design. So on the last few years, it's impossible when talking about application security and web application security not to have heard of shifting left, which is taking security into account as soon as possible in the software development life cycle. And design is at the very beginning of this life cycle, so why not adding it to the top 10? And it will bring the light on threat modeling a lot. I think that's a good thing because more development teams should do threat modeling before starting the development of the app. Then on security misconfiguration, that has been moved up and now includes XML external entities, which was previously number 4. So external entities. So I remember I was real surprised in 2017 that XML external entities have a category of their own, and the 4th one, because I don't think that most modern applications do a lot of XML parsing. Well, personally, I haven't seen a lot of them, so I'm not surprised that the category disappears now. And I think it's a great signal. I think that people are now aware of what XML external entities are and how to protect against them, and it's indeed only configuration change to apply on the app to protect against them. And we can say that the 2017 version has succeeded in making people aware of it, so that's great. Then the number 6, which is using components with known vulnerabilities, has been moved from 9 to 6. So I really love the new name because it will bring the focus of developers and security teams not only on components that have known vulnerabilities, but it will make them, if they look into the 10, update dependencies a lot more often. And as a developer, I can say that some components that have not been updated for a while that now have urgently to be updated because of a known vulnerability, it can be really difficult. So you should always update your components as frequently as possible. So great new name. Then broken authentication has been moved from 2nd to 7th and brings a new focus on identification. Then insecure destabilization is now included in a new category, which is software and data integrity failures. So data failures can occur in the code, so just like before with insecure deserializations, but it can also occur in CI/CD pipelines, where attackers could have a huge impact on the production by doing everything the CI/CD pipeline has the rights for. And this can occur too by using libraries or components from untrusted sources. And with the rise of supply chain attacks in the past few years, I think it's a great move to bring the focus on this too. So I have to make a brief reminder of how the top 10 is built. So the 8 first categories are built from statistical data analysis, and the 2 last of them are built from a survey that has been answered by application security professionals. These 2 are number 9, so security logging and monitoring failures, which is insufficient logging and monitoring, that has been moved up and has a slight new name, slight change in the name. So there is 0% chance that an attacker will succeed in attacking an application on the first try. They will fail and they will try again and eventually succeed. But if you are able to detect that and take the correct actions, which is in most cases blocking them, most breaches and successful hacks could be avoided. And then the last one is server-side request forgery. So in 2017, I was glad that these 2 categories were added because these are non-classical vulnerabilities. You can argue that these are not even real vulnerabilities. It's just for example, for the logging, a way to detect them. But server-side request forgery is a real vulnerability, so if it had its place in the top 10, it should come from the data, from the statistical data analysis, I think. So I'm not sure of this new category, but at least it will bring the focus on it, and so more people will learn about it, so why not? So to sum up, there are quite a few changes in this new version, and I'm mostly really glad for those changes. And I'm just unsure about the last category, the new 10th category, server-side request forgery. But I'm pretty excited to see what impact it will have on the application development industry. So we'll see that in the few next years. So that's all for this time. Thanks for watching. If there is any subject that you would like me to talk about, feel free to ask in the comment section. And please share these videos to everyone who could be interested in them. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!